Do you have a question for the book?
Yes, I would say, what is love?
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to know what love is.
So that was the exact same verse that they just both picked out.
I'm totally blown away because instantly the question that he asked and the answer that came out, the Bhagavad-gita, like it couldn't have been any more clearer.
Wow. Wow.
No, that's just fantastic. That's really good. That's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
This person, the books are alive.
So they say that if you ask the Bhagavad-gita any question, it answers your question. Do you have a question for the Bhagavad-gita?
Yeah. My question is going to be, how do you kill your own ego?
Okay.
And I can pick any page?
Any page, any page. How can you kill your own ego?
How can you kill your own ego?
Okay. Yeah, so do you want to read the verse and then some of the purple?
I'll read this. I'll say, I'm the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all of their hearts.
That's amazing. That is a really special verse, actually.
Oh, is it?
And actually, your question was, how do you kill your own ego?
How do you kill your own ego?
So actually, it's giving you a really practical step there, because it's saying, Krishna is saying, I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds, right? So Krishna is saying he's the source of all spirit, and what happens is we sometimes feel we're the source of all material and spiritual. So we feel at the center. We put ourselves at the center. But Krishna is saying there directly, I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Then he's saying everything emanates from me. So me, you, this whole world emanates from him. Mm-hmm. But then here it gets really interesting, because the next line gives you the practical knowledge of how to kill your own ego. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their heart. So that gives you the practical worshipping Krishna with all your heart.
Yes, that makes total sense. Yeah, I mean, look, if you worship Krishna, you can see how you're in his world, essentially, rather than your own world. So that totally makes sense and totally can kill my ego, which is good, because at the end of the day, you should never have an ego. So appreciate it. Thank you.
That's amazing. What question do you have for the book, or anything in your mind?
Yeah, I do have a question. What is the true source of happiness in the world?
Okay. Amazing. What's the true source of happiness in the world? Okay, so there you go. Open the book at any page, and let's see what happens. Okay, so you wanna pick?
So just read from here?
Yeah.
Again, there are those who, although not conversant in spiritual knowledge, begin to worship the Supreme Person upon hearing about him from others. Because of their tendency to hear from authorities, they also transcend the path of birth and death.
Amazing. Okay. Do you want to just read a little bit of the verse as well? The purple?
Yeah, sure. Lord, can you help?
Chaitanya,
who preached
Krishna
consciousness in the modern world, gave great stress to hearing, because if the common man simply hears from authoritative sources, he can progress, especially according to Lord
Chaitanya.
If he hears the transcendental vibration of Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. One should learn to become the servants of those who are in the knowledge of the Supreme Lord. If one is fortunate enough to take shelter of a pure devotee, hear from him about self-realization and follow up in his footsteps, one will be gradually elevated to the position of a pure devotee. Wow. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I think that it pretty much answers the question. I think the true sort of source of happiness is, I suppose, a devotion to something special in your life. Or...
Yeah, it's basically saying three things there. One is identifying yourself with the soul. Second is saying Lord Chaitanya brought the idea of chanting Hare Krishna, which is a mantra meditation and allows you to connect with the Supreme. And then it's also saying about taking shelter and hearing from pure devotees, so then you can become a pure devotee yourself, which is the essence and source of happiness. And that purport actually gives you the mantra directly, which is said that in this age that the direct source of happiness is chanting that mantra. It's simplified all of the Vedic knowledge into one mantra, and it's basically giving you that mantra directly into that.
No, that's fantastic. That's really good. That's amazing.
Wow. So they say if you ask the Bhagavad-gita any question, it answers your question. What question do you guys have?
So our question was, how long does it take for the soul to reach Krishna's abode after someone passes away?
Okay, that's a very specific question. How long does a soul take for it to reach Krishna's abode? But is it going to reach Krishna's abode is the question. That's the question, yeah. Okay, so open the book at any page.
Any page.
This is such a good thing.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, so read that verse.
My dear Arjuna, he who engages in my pure devotional service, free from the contaminations of fruitive activities and mental speculation, he who works for me, who makes me the supreme goal of his life, and who is friendly to every living being, he certainly comes to me. Wow. Wow. Yeah.
What do you make from that?
Yeah, that's crazy that the soul, like if you work for Krishna and make him the supreme goal of everything, that you will certainly go to him. So yeah.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That's amazing. So do you maybe read some of this as well? Just read that. Let's just see what Prabhupada says.
Anyone who wants to approach the supreme of all personalities of Godhead on the Krishna Loka planet in the spiritual sky and be intimately connected with the Supreme Personality, Krishna must take this formula as stated by the Supreme himself. Therefore, this verse is considered to be the essence of the Bhagavad-gita, directed to the conditioned soul who are engaged in the material world with the purpose of lording it over nature and who do not know of the real spiritual life. And then it says about the Bhagavad-gita. The Bhagavad-gita is meant to show how one can understand his spiritual existence and his eternal relationship with the Supreme Spiritual Personality, and how to teach one how to go back home, back to Godhead. Now here in this verse, which clearly explains the process by which one can attain success in his spiritual activity, devotional service. As far as work is concerned, one should transfer his energy entirely to Krishna conscious activities, as stated in the Bhakti Ras. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah.
That's amazing, right?
Yeah. So now we know the way to get back to Godhead is devotional service.
Yeah, and you can only get back to Godhead. And it mentioned Krishna Loka, it mentioned his abode, literally exactly what you asked.
Yeah, the formula, yeah. Everything's there. Wow.
What are you going to do differently now?
Do more devotional service. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, that was my son Christian. I'm totally blown away because instantly the question that he asked and the answer that came out, the Bhagavad-gita, like it couldn't have been any more clearer. And I know this, but to see this and see their reaction is just absolutely amazing. Krishna's mercy is all I would say. I was surprised, but I was surprised for him because it was for him to experience as well. But absolutely amazing. Just Bhagavad-gita is everything.
Do you have a question for the book?
Yes, I would say, what is love?
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to know what love is in a really pure way.
Okay. So open it up to any page.
I'm very nervous. Okay. This one.
Okay.
Understand that as the mighty wind blowing everywhere, rest always in the sky, all created beings rest in me.
Understanding that the almighty wind blowing everywhere,
Yeah.
always in the sky, all created beings are in the Lord. So essentially, like, we're all inside the Lord.
Yeah.
And when you have pure love, you start seeing everybody as part of the Lord.
Yeah. Yeah. That is really nice. Thank you.
That's amazing. So you're gonna take something away from this?
Yes, I will.
What do you love about the Gita?
I think it's a really great. It's a universal philosophy which teaches you about everything about life and death and the difference between the journey of the soul and the journey of the body, and it kind of is the key to understanding our purpose in this world.
Now, do you have a question for the Bhagavad-gita?
I do, yeah. What will life be like for my daughter?
Okay. Interesting question. What's life going to be like for your daughter? Okay. How old's your daughter?
6.
6, okay. Your daughter's 6 years old and you want to ask, what's the world going to give her? What's life's going to be like for her? Okay. What's her name?
Jasmine.
Jasmine, okay. So open up to any page and let's see what the Bhagavad-gita says about life for Jasmine. Okay. Do you want to read the verse? The first one that you saw? Yeah.
Out of loving ecstasy for Krishna, his friend, Arjuna is offering his respects from all sides. He's accepting that he is the master of all potencies and all prowess, and far superior to all the great warriors assembled on the battlefield. It is said in the Vishnu Purana.
Okay, so, and read this bit as well.
Obeisance to you from the front, from behind and from all sides. O unbounded power, you are the master of limitless might. You are all-pervading, and thus you are everything.
So basically, this is the point in the Bhagavad-gita where Krishna reveals his universal form. And Arjuna asks the question of, can you please show me, what you're talking about and what your universal form is? So what it's saying to you here is it's saying that unborn power, you are the master of limitless might, you are the all-pervading, and thus you are everything. So it's basically glorifying Krishna. Hi, what's your name?
Jasmine,
How old are you, Jasmine?
6.
Wow, you're 6 years old. And do you have a question for the Bhagavad-gita?
Yeah.
What's your question?
Will I have a baby when I grow up?
Oh, wow. Will you have a baby when you grow up? Okay, wonderful. Okay, well, you have to open the book at any page. So basically, Krishna's going to say to you or give you a direction about life and what that entails, right? Okay. So, wow. Daddy just asked a question, and his question was, what's life going to be like for her daughter, right? For Jasmine, right? Now, Jasmine just randomly picked a page, right? You just randomly picked a page, Jasmine, right? Okay. Now, Daddy is now going to read the verse that was picked by Jasmine. Daddy, could you read the verse out?
We go for this one here, we go.
Yeah.
Obeisance to you from the front, from behind and from all sides. O unbounded power, you are the most master of limitless might. You are all-pervading, and thus you are everything.
So that was the exact same verse that they just both picked out.
Same one.
How weird.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
So, Jasmine, I think it's saying to you that, worshipping Krishna is your path. It's your direction. And seeing Krishna as the Almighty. How do you feel about that?
Happy.
Happy. Do you like Krishna?
Yeah.
What do you like about him?
Well, I like that he protects us.
Have you thought of a question to ask the Bhagavad-gita?
Yeah.
So what's your question?
My question is, on the spur of the moment, is there a big change coming about in my life?
Okay.
Is my life about to take a big turn?
Okay. So is your life about to take a big turn, or what is the big change, or what's coming next,
Yeah, what's coming next? Something
Okay.
about that, yeah.
Okay, sure. Okay, so open the book at any page.
Okay, so I have to be very okay. O universal form, O thousand-armed lord, I wish to see you in your four-armed form, with helmeted head and with club, wheel, conch, and lotus flower in your hands. I long to see you in that form.
Okay. Do you want to read some of the purport as well? Just like a...
In the Brahma Samhita, it's stated, the Lord is eternally situated in hundreds and thousands of forms, and the main forms are those like Rama,
Narsimha, Narayan, etc. These are innumerable forms. But Arjuna knew that Krishna is the original personality of Godhead, assuming his temporary universal form. He's now asking to see the form of Narayana, a spiritual form. This verse establishes without any doubt the statement of the Srimad Bhagavad that Krishna is the original personality of Godhead and all other features originate from him. He is not different from his plenary expansions, and he is God in any of his innumerable forms. In all of these forms, he is fresh like a young man. That is the constant feature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One who knows Krishna becomes free at once from all contamination of the material world.
Yeah, so I think it's saying that essentially knowing that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead is how we can remove ourselves from the contaminations of the world. And when things keep changing, that's a feature of the contaminated world, is constant changing.
That's so true.
So the world's always changing.
Keep your focus on Krishna, and then you'll become free of the contamination or the materialism or the constant change that we're in.
Exactly. Because constant change can affect us. Yeah. We're always affected by change.
So regardless of what's happening in your life, just keep your focus as Krishna. It's true. I love it.
Exactly. Amazing, right?
Yeah, I love it. Thanks for that interpretation. I think it's all about how you read things, and this explains it really, really well, actually. I love it.
So, Hare Krishna, my name is Chiti Shakti. So since the beginning of my Krishna consciousness, nearly 30 years now, I've been having this practice of opening the Bhagavad-gita with a prayer when I have a question, and maybe I don't have someone immediately at hand to ask, but I know Krishna is fully reciprocating, and actually his words are always alive. And so I just had a question. My dear Krishna, how can I develop more trust in you? And I opened it randomly, and he says, after many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. So what I'm hearing him tell me is, if I want to learn to trust him more, I first have to understand that everything begins with him, and he is the cause of everything. So even if I can't see, even with hindsight or foresight, why something's happening, I know at least the cause is compassionate and loving, and that's Krishna.
Wow. Any other reflections like you want to share?
Yes, I think one of the things that's helped me to keep up this practice of, how can you open a book randomly and get an answer that's so personal and so specific, is because I see every day, every week, every month, every year that Krishna's words, because he's beyond the terrestrial, beyond the celestial, he's transcendental, so his words are also the same. And so these transcendental words, these words which are beyond, what do I mean by, terrestrial, this world, celestial, beyond the metaphysical world, because he's from even a place which is, beyond all of that, and that's the home of our real self. So his words, his love can penetrate all of those layers and reach our very most inner self. And so the words, the books these are transcendental books. They might be made of terrestrial matter, they might soothe the celestial self, but ultimately they nourish the transcendental self.
Wow. You just explain to us how this thing works.
This person, the books are alive. Thank you so much.
That's amazing.